And welcome back to the CB Rocker Show. I am on the phone with a very special guest, and his name is Len Lamanna from the band Frailfragment. And he's got a lot of crazy stuff going on since we last talked to him. I believe it was in January. But first of all, I would like to thank you, Len, for coming back to the CB Rocker Show and sticking with us.
Thanks, CD. No problem. It's been a pleasure.
So you've been crazy busy since January. You got a tour coming up, and you've had some radio and TV play and a whole bunch more. And, of course, with all that, you've been recording, too.
Yeah, we have been in the recording studio. We recorded 3 songs. We're just starting to put together an album with, we got a deal with Indie Pool we're working out now. Mm-hmm. So it's been busy. In January, once I got off the phone with you, basically we're on Explore Music, and that's basically a national radio show with Alan Cross, and he kind of mentioned our name, and we got a lot of Myspace hits because of that, which was cool. And
great.
I just recently have been on his show, Explore Music TV, and you can check it out at exploremusic.ca.
Awesome.
And it's all there.
Being that we're talking about MySpace, have you noticed any fluctuations with the hits on MySpace since the dawn of the Twitter generation?
It's weird. I check my email and it has Bob Smith is following Frailfragment. You know what I mean? And it's every couple of days I have 5 to 10 people following us through Twitter, and we set up our Twitter account on our MySpace, myspace.com/Frailfragment. Twitter is definitely helping out. I don't really know how to use it yet. You know what I mean? I just update through my cell phone, what's going on or whatnot, and plug the website. And once people come on there, they like what they hear.
I really don't think anybody really knows how to use Twitter yet, but it's good to hear that you're getting some hits. Now, you've been doing all that, but also you're putting together a major Canadian tour. Can you tell us a little bit about that tour?
Well, it's basically in February. I talked to a guy named John Long, who runs Lawn and McQuaid here in Toronto, and he gave me some tips kind of to inspire me, and basically there's no easy way around it. You just have to kind of, Google live venues, for example, London, Ontario, and find a place with a website that kind of suits your music. You can go about it that way.
Right.
Or you can find a band on MySpace and you can get their tour dates. You can go about it that way. But the hard part is kind of calling the place. And you're calling the wrong person. You got to basically get the right person, the right person's number, and the right person's email.
Right.
And start like a spreadsheet, right? Start a spreadsheet. And usually the first time it takes, I'm guesstimating here, but it takes roughly around 2 months, to book that show and get in touch with them again and follow up on them. And, sometimes it doesn't work, but you can never take no for an answer. You got to be a nice guy, and maybe and you can't suck, really, you know what I mean? They appreciate the persistence,
exactly.
But you got to be pretty good too. So, and they'll kind of steer you in the right direction, you know what I mean? If they because they'll appreciate your persistence. And if you're talented but you're just not for that venue, they'll tell you where to go.
Correct.
And basically, so I booked 30 dates. And we named the tour the Fragment Tour, and we got CDs going real soon, and they're going to be 11-song CDs. And we're basically into writing our second album now. So it's pretty cool.
So you're going full-fledged, you got a full tour coming up, and you're doing all the legwork yourself. And the listeners out there want to know, when do you find time to breathe? What I'm getting at is, how do you keep things balanced?
I don't know if I'm answering your question, but just the music business is a monster, and I'm basically managing the band Frailfragment right now, and you can never stop working, but I'm kind of content with booking. I'm not booking any more dates for the summer, so I'm kind of booking for September now.
Good.
And we might play a few Horseshoe, Lee's Palace, because those are the best places to play in Toronto, kind of thing, that I can book. But then you need some more representation. You need an agent. You need the agency on your side, or you need Fieldman's up here.
Correct.
And those are the two big agencies. Now, if you have those, then you're playing places that I can't book. You know what I mean? So that's kind of our next step. but it's hard to get those guys to a show, and that's kind of like my next step, to kind of break down doors as far as those two agency groups go that, you know, have the managers and the agents that have all the connections and everything like that. You know, we kind of got a niche now, like we're kind of like a dark sounding alternative band.
Correct.
And, you know, by playing these shows, too, like, you figure out what works live and what doesn't work live, you know, and that's something we all realized, like, last week. Like, these songs, you know, don't really work, but these songs do. So let's play these 10, 11 songs,
Correct.
and let's kick ass, you know? Like, we'll play for an hour, play for 45 minutes to an hour, and get off stage, you know? And everybody wants more. So we figured out our set list. And that's taken like 2 months to figure out just by trial and error, right? Because we have like 20 songs. So we cut it down in half, and, you know, we start heavy and we end heavy. You know, in the middle, there's some, you know, softer kind of commercial-friendly music, right? But so we have a kick-ass set now too, right? So and that's getting tighter and getting tighter. But then there's also practicing, which we do, like, we dedicate Sundays to practicing.
Correct.
And then usually we're playing shows, you know, like every Friday and Saturday, and then sometimes during the week, like a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Monday. We all work full time during the day too, so it is a busy life, right?
Yes, exactly. You kids out there to want to think about rock and roll and music is just jumping in a van and going out and playing. It's a whole hell of a lot more work, but you get the benefit too, knowing that you created something, and you really don't know until you go live. That's probably when you get your best response, right?
Yeah, like you get this, I don't know, the reward is like, you know, you're going to kick everybody's ass. And like, that's kind of how we feel, you know, like, because we played shows, like, we played a show like last Friday, 10 people in the audience, right? Mm-hmm. But the sound guy, and that happens.
Right.
Because we're like out of Toronto, we're in some small little town in Ontario.
Right.
But the sound guy, he came up to me and he's like, you know what, I throw shows every 6 weeks here. Mm-hmm. And there's like 300 people here, and none of these tables are here. It's just like a mosh pit. He's like, you guys would kick ass. So here's my number. Call me, you know, in a week, and we're going to work something out. And that's kind of how you pay your dues, right?
Yeah, you got to start.
And those 300 people, let's say, you know, if half of them dig us, they're going to come check us out in Toronto, or they're going to come check us out, you know, when we're playing in that area again. And it's kind of like, that's how you have to start a fire, kind of playing shows, by paying your dues, meeting the people that book the venues, starting that spreadsheet. And maybe there's places that you don't really want to play again, that's fine. But you kind of figure out where is good for you to play, and yeah, you just kind of, you know, expand that way. And that's what we're trying to do this summer. Like with me, I just try to book like, you know, 30 days